I have a theory though, Larry. Kyle's at the end of his rope with this QB stuff, man. And I feel like we finally got him zeroed in on the perfect vessel. Brock Purdy. You can't do Brock like you did Jimmy. You can't do Brock like you did Nick Mullins or like you did CJ Beathard or like even if like you did Trey Lance. This is somebody that finally has got Kyle's goat. He's athletic enough. He's smart enough. He's got enough processing. He's accurate enough. He has the locker room and is respected by everybody. Brock Purdy is going to expose Kyle.
You mean he's taking away the excuses?
He's taking away all the excuses.
You can't blame him.
At some point, the fans are going to stop looking at the players and they're all going to change their direction to Kyle and say, there's no way that you can put this on Brock. There's no way. And you're starting to see now fans are understanding, well, you can't put it on Brock because Brock's a fighter. Even though he's making the mistakes, he's young enough and he's still coming back and fighting past him. Even when you hang him out the drive with plays where it's not healthy, where it's not protecting him, he's still athletic enough to make things happen for you, all right, off script. The players like him. I mean, what are we doing, Kyle? What are we doing? And we all understand that the quarterback is the most important position in the building. So we always are going to pick the quarterback over the coach. So all I'm saying is that
the coach has got an extension.
I understand that too, and that extension was written on a bar napkin.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you're spot on.
That extension was written on a bar napkin too. That's just what it is. All I'm saying is that Kyle is running out of rope. He's running out of rope, and this kid right now,
go time. It's go time.
I'm telling you, because you can't put it on Brock now, right? He's shown you he can win.
You can't really put it on Lynch either.
No, he's giving you John Lynch is the reason why Brock is here.
He's also the reason why your roster's as deep as it is, and you just got Chase Young, and last year he got you McCaffrey. You can't put it on John. You can't put it on the quarterback. It's time. It's time for Kyle to wind up in the winner's circle and do it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
I agree.
It's getting to the point now where it's like, all right, well, how much are we just gonna? Are we really gonna put this all on Mr. Irrelevant? Really? It's literally all of this. If they don't make it, right? Are we really gonna sit here with a straight face and talk about Brock Purdy like he's Aaron Rodgers? Like Brock Purdy deserves all of that scrutiny. Like he's some grizzly vet who understands the stakes. And you know what, kid? You get what's coming to you. You throw the picks, it's on you. You mess up, it's on you. You get hurt, it's on you. Really? Are we really going to talk about Brock with no context? Like we did Trey? Are we going to wake up and understand that this ain't about Brock? This is about Kyle. Okay? Because Kyle's running out of excuses.
It's powerful, but I think you're onto something.
This kid's enough.
It's a
He's
kind
enough.
Of a shift. It's a shift in perspective, but I think you're onto something. Kyle is very coveted. He's got a great reputation. If they fired him tomorrow, he'd get another job instantly. We all know that. It's not about
yada.
It's just, can he climb the mountain? His father won a couple rings, but was eventually undone by defensive personnel that kind of came up short. How's it going to go for Kyle? I mean, it's time. You can't blame Lynch. You can't blame the quarterback. You know, you've got the weapons. You know, I guess you could blame the offensive line right now for a while.
That's his own doing. You're the one who's paying. You're the one who's overpaying Debo. You're the one who's putting all of this. Listen, our offensive line
has to be addressed.
No. You know who our offensive line is? Our offensive line is Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, Jawan Jennings, and Deebo Samuel. The edges of this offense is what blocks because Kyle completely engineers around the offensive line. He knows that this offensive line isn't good. Okay. The money that should be in front of Brock is on the side of Brock. Okay. That's on Kyle. These are all of his guys.
When this
These are
stat,
all of
you've seen this stat, right?
yeah. I
The
seen
0 and
that.
40 and fourth quarter comebacks. That's not a Brock stat. That ain't a Lynch stat. That's a Shanahan
That's a
stat.
Kyle stat. Right. So all I'm saying is that what I love about the game is that what you do in the dark gonna come to the light. Okay. And you can link on to this kid and think that you're gonna gaslight us into thinking that this kid is yesterday's news and we can discard him. But I've been saying this for months. I've been saying this when I was talking about Trey. Didn't I tell you this? I said, when they do it to Brock, I'ma still be here defending him like I'm defending Trey. Didn't I tell you that, Larry?
Yep.
I said, when they do it to Brock, you guys don't see it now. I told you this in the summer. I said, you don't see it. But when they do this to Brock, I'm going to be defending him the same way I'm defending Trey. And I don't want the fans to fall for the okie doke. Brock is enough. This is on Kyle. When you see Brock running out of the pocket, creating on his own, that's Brock's contribution to this team. When you see Brock going in there, calling the offense the right way, processing, that's Brock's contribution to this team. But when you see Brock playing hurt, when you see plays not being processed the right way, when you see Brock not having a run game because we ran Christian McCaffrey into the ground, when everybody in the room has been talking to this man about it, and he can sit there and talk about, oh, I don't see a problem with it at all. When you can see Kyle can sit there and throw his own brandly minted new DC under the bus, who everybody is having a problem with, who Kyle brought in, and say, oh, yeah, he knows he messed up. But then 4 days later can go on the radio. Guys, is Brock Purdy's career going to have to be sacrificed for you guys to realize that we need to start looking at Kyle?
He's just going to have to own some of this criticism. Being Butterfly says, I support Kyle Shanahan. I want Kyle as the 49er coach, but he's not beyond examination, feedback, or reproach. Kyle needs to improve too. I think it's fair. I'll say this: I don't get the vibe that Kyle, thinks that he's perfect, and I don't like when he talks to his players. I don't think he blames them to their face. I think he says we need to be better. But how much does he really believe that? How much does he really believe it's on him and his offense scoring 17 the last 3 games as opposed to Wilkes and the defense? I don't know. It seems like there's a lot more hemming and hawing, or a lot more concern about the defense and not as much concern about the play calling, and that's his area of expertise.
For 3 weeks in a row, a month, Larry, he's been out-coached for a month. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Okay. As bad as this defense has been, this defense is still top 10. And top 10 defense can still go to the Super Bowl. It's our offense that has been fucking struggling, bro. All right. And nobody's talking about that.
And after watching Purdy against Minnesota for 3 quarters and watching Purdy for 3 quarters against Cincinnati,
he's doing his job.
I mean, he's the turnovers in the fourth have to end. Those are on Brock, not on Kyle. But at the same time, they didn't have big point totals going to the fourth, and Purdy was running for his life, and you kind of wonder about some of the play calling.